Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. And as we go over this week's analysis, uh, in our usual format, we'll start off with the indexes. So for SPX on the weekly chart, as we were anticipating last week, a bearish market. Market has dropped from the peak of close to 4,450, and indicators have turned downward. It had gone above the resistance band, and we were expecting the correction which has started in the last week. From here on, looking at the weekly trend, it's still in the overbought region, and we expect the market correction to happen further. And this aligns with some of the news that you might be hearing about the interest rate hike, recession. Those rumors or news, whatever you call it, is expected to impact the market trend as well. So if you are on positions which are for bearish trend, you are in the right direction. So if we look at the daily chart, so the bearish trend is clear on the daily chart as well. The indicators are downward on the last 5 sessions. You can see here, it had touched the upper Bollinger Band and has moved downward, going closer to mid Bollinger Band or 20 EMA, which is close to 1410. So further downtrend is anticipated, and we can expect this week and few weeks further as well to market to remain bearish. The support here is close to 4,300, and further correction would bring market closer to the support here around 41,770, and lower Bollinger Band and 100 EMA are close to 4150, which would be ideal for those who would be planning to enter for longer term. Or even further, the support band here is close to 4050 or 4090. So with the market trend, the indicators and the candlesticks pattern are aligning with the news that you would be hearing from various sources. Expecting this, it's good to be on small quantity positions and take advantage of the bearish sentiment that's seen on the chart and also in the sources that you would be following. If we look at NDX, NASDAQ 100, so for the tech stocks, starting from the weekly chart, so we see here even on the NDX chart, the correction has started to become evident. We have been discussing about market correction in the past few weeks. It was in overbought region and the market has started correction. Although the last week's candle is doji, but with the indicators and values being in overbought region. If you see here, CCI is around 155 plus 155. So expecting correction further in the upcoming week or weeks is what is clear from the charts. Look on the daily chart. There's a gravestone doji in the last session. Even though there was a green candle on Thursday, the Friday's closing is still indicating a further downtrend. With the mid Bollinger Band here at 14,600, can expect some support here on the daily chart around 14,500, 14,600, from where there could be few sessions of sideways and then further continuation of downtrend looking at the weekly chart. So if you haven't closed any of your tech stocks position which you had taken for swing trade or for medium term trade, it would be suggested to close your positions to book your profit, and you start looking at some of the inverse ETFs because of the bearish trend. For NASDAQ, the lower Bollinger Band is close to 14,000, 3980, 14,000, which could be a good support range. There's a very thin support channel here close to 13,670. It could go to that range if the correction happens faster. The price drop is steep. So for now, at least 1400 looks clear for the NASDAQ 100. And since NASDAQ 100 follows major tech stocks, recommendation would be same for or similar for the major tech stocks listed on the NASDAQ exchange. Since we are talking about NDX, if we look at QQQ, the trend would be similar. So let's cover QQQ as well. So for QQQ, it's currently at 362, and with the correction on the week, as per the weekly trend, you could look at buying puts close to 335. There's a support range here at 330, which is a thin channel, but you could consider 330 as well, since the mid Bollinger Band is currently at 327, which could come up to 330 and could be the support price where it could reach within about 4 to 6 weeks, unless the correction is very steep and faster. So if you are looking to buy puts of about end of July or early August, 330 put looks to be good opportunity. And if you look at the day chart, on the day chart, the support here is at 355. So if you are looking forward to enter into a put trade for nearer expiry, you could look at 335. I think with 335, it could be your next Friday's expiry or next to next Friday's expiry. If you are planning to take further expiry, as we saw on the weekly chart, strike price of 330 or 335 would be a good opportunity. depending upon the volume, volume and the momentum of the downtrend, the support near 330 may not be a strong support. We are looking at the chart on the daily time frame. Around 320 faced resistance previously, about 3 times at least, which could be a strong support for those who would be planning to enter it in the longer term. Right. So if we talk about QQQ, give dividend, and after that, based on the last candle, it's clear. So if you have already opened your position in either the inverse ETF or your put, you can hold it for it to reach the strike price that we discussed. Any questions? Gaurav,
Kamal, this
yeah.
QQQ last candle looks more like a gravestone kind of a doji.
Yes.
If I look at SQQ, the doji, there is a doji, but not very clearly the inverse. The body's slightly in between. So do we see SQQ proportionately going up?
Yes. So that's a very good question, and I was thinking to talk about when we discuss TQQ and SQQ. Now that
Oh,
Gaurav,
okay.
since you mentioned, so let's cover TQQ and SQQ
Fair enough. Yeah.
now itself, since you mentioned, so it will be in continuation. Okay, let me take through the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, obviously the pattern is the same what we saw for NDX and QQQ. In terms of the price range that you could be looking for those who are trading in puts, here the EMA 100 is at 334. Currently it is close to 39, so about $5 drop. Whereas EMA 50 and mid Bollinger Band are almost merging at $30, which looks to be a very good opportunity for a put if you are looking over 4 to 6 weeks or around 4 to 6 weeks of expiry. The support could be around 30, which could be a good strike price on the weekly chart. If you look at daily chart, yeah, even on daily chart, this EMA 100 is EMA 100 is at close to 30. So that looks to be a good strike price. If you are looking for a nearer expiry, mid Bollinger Band here is close to 37. So 37 is about $2, and 35 could be a strike price which could be having lesser premium and could give better returns. If someone can quickly check, Gaurav, are you looking to take option trade, or are you looking only to take SQQ?
I am more inclined towards SQQ, Kamal.
Okay, so then
but I can check the premium on.
Yeah, if you can look at premium about 4 weeks from now, which is like end of July.
Okay. TQQ. July 28th, maybe?
Yeah.
Strike 35?
Strike of 35, yes.
35, okay. It says last trade price is 1.19. Ask is 123, bid is 127.
right? So buying around 1.25 cents and for about 4 to 6 weeks of expiry could give a good return. You can get opportunity to sell at around $2 or even more. So that's on TQQ put, with expecting it to go around 35. And if the correction goes further, the lower Bollinger Band is 32.5. That could be the next track that you could look at. So these are near term. For someone who is planning to take this week's expiry, the mid Bollinger Band is 37. The premium might be slightly higher, but I would still suggest to go for 35, which can help you to choose expiry little further, and you won't be impacted with the theta decay. Since it has taken support previously at 1, 2, 3, 4, and once resistance 5, so it could drop up to 35 in 2 to 3 weeks or 4 weeks timeline. Since we are looking this on the daily chart, I think about 2 weeks would be good enough, 2 to 3 weeks for it to reach this price. And since Gaurav mentioned about SQQ, so for those who are trading just in ETF, on the weekly chart, it has formed a bullish pattern. Since we expect the market to go down and TQQ is in the downtrend, SQQ, the candle pattern itself is confirming a reversal. We can see the reversal on the indicators as well. Blue line has crossed orange, with blue being in oversold. For talking about the targets, although the weekly Bollinger Band is close to 29.8, so 29.8 could be your third target. We look on the daily chart. On daily chart, the last candle, it has had closing on the closer to the open price. It didn't form a plain doji. It did have a small body, but still the candle shape is indicating a direction up. If you notice closely here, let me zoom. The lower Bollinger Band has reversed.
Right.
With this reversal, not just the indicators, but the lower Bollinger Band has reversed. Mid Bollinger Band is almost kind of flattening. So with this reversal, we could expect mid Bollinger Band to get flattened around this price range, which is mid Bollinger Band is here at 2160. So your first target, if you plan to buy tomorrow at the pre-market or around the market open time, you could buy around $20 for your first target of 21.5. And second target close to 24.6. Let's see on the 4-hour chart. Four-hour chart is having a upper Bollinger Band at 20.4. So on the daily chart itself, we can find even EMA 50 is EMA 50 is close to 25.32, and upper Bollinger Band is 24.68. So if you are looking to hold it for over a week or two, your second target could be close to 24.5. Even if you take the high of this candle, which was 24.6, taking that reference and the upper Bollinger Band, both are almost at the same price range. And with a conservative approach, you can have your target at 24.50. And this is just with ETF. And if you want to also open a call option along with that, the first strike that you could look could have a cheaper premium would be around 24.5. And the next, if you are planning to hold, no, if you are planning to take a further expiry, the mid Bollinger Band range of $29, I would say, even if you are paying higher premium for strike price around 24.5 or 25, and this would be good to hold, because you would be paying less for the further expiry.
Yeah, 24.5 strike July 28th is 47 cents.
Yeah. So if you buy at 47 cents, you can easily aim to get at least 50% return. And if the volume of or the momentum is faster, it could even go beyond 90 cents. So closer to about 100% return. Current price is 20. If it goes to 24.5, the underlying asset price itself would contribute to the premium price. So your 47-cent call has a good opportunity to almost give you 100% return. 50% return, I was saying conservative. And with the trend, even if it reaches the mid Bollinger Band of about 21.5, you would be in a good percentage return, percentage profit on that call trade. So since the 4-week expiry premium is also cheap, I think it's a very good opportunity to take the put trade of July end strike price of 24.5. Is that what you mentioned, Gaurav, right?
Yep, I think it's a call. For SQQ, it's going to be a call.
Yeah, call for 24.5.
Yep. Let me put it again. July 28th. Strike price of 24.5. Right. It is yeah, last price 42, ask 47, bid 38. So yeah, between 42 and 47 is what we could expect.
Okay. Yeah. So that looks to be a good opportunity for this week with the market trend that we are seeing. We look on the daily chart. Yeah. So at the start of market, we could plan to get the call, SQQ call for 24.5.
Kamal, on the
And
daily chart, for SQQ, there's a resistance zone between 22.8 and 23. I mean, do you see that as a weak resistance?
yeah, this around 22.5
between 22.8 and 23 on the day chart.
Yeah, so around this range, it has faced resistance previously.
Right.
1, 2, 3, and 4, almost around 22.6. So it looks to be a weak resistance.
Mhm.
The volume with which it breaks the mid Bollinger Band, that would determine whether it could act as a strong resistance or it would still remain as a weak resistance.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Because clearly on the weekly chart, the resistance band starts close to 29. So
Right.
the upside from the current price looks to be higher, although on the, and that's the reason there is no support, there's no resistance band shown by the indicator here. So it could act as a small resistance for now from what we see on the chart and the indicator reference.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, awesome. So with that, then are we good with TQQ, SQQ?
Yep, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, let's take TSX. All right. So TSX had a big red candle, almost Maruazu last week. And although we were expecting bearish trend a few weeks back, but this big red candle came faster than we anticipated. And good that it has touched the lower Bollinger Band. It has almost taken support at this thin support here. The indicator is downward. It has touched the lower Bollinger Band. However, the weekly chart lower Bollinger Band, if you see, it is still downward. And since it has formed almost Marubazi candle, let's see on the daily chart. Yeah, even on the daily chart, the trend is still downward. It has dropped below the mid Bollinger Band. So for good entry, $18,860, 18,700, which is another 700 points looking on the month chart. On a quicker timeline, on the day chart, there is a support here at 19,200. So watch for initial few sessions through this week. It could happen that 1 or 2 sessions it might show green trend, reach this resistance, touch the lower Bollinger Band, and then continue further up closer to 19,200 or 1900. So because of the red Marubazu candle last week, I would still suggest to just watch and not open any position. If it reaches close to 1900, 19,200 or 1900, then you could open your long positions. And this since we are talking about the index, the major stocks listed on the index, including banking stocks and your Shopify. If you are holding, wait for at least mid of the week before averaging down. The trend is still strong bearish. Looking at the candles, it has not bottomed yet to enter. And looking at the highs, it was high was 20,150. Here high was 20,100, which means it has formed lower highs, and that has been the case since May. Here high was 20,700, 20,600, 644. Yeah. So with the lower highs, the bearish trend on TSX still has further downward side, downside. This range of 19,100 looks to be a good support zone. So watch towards the end of the week if there is an indication of reversal. Potentially on Thursday, you could open your positions or plan to average down. Gaurav or Vivek, are you having any TSX positions open for swing trade or for short-term trade?
No, Kamal, not for short term. I mean, I would be keeping my eyes on because we're talking TSX. So the index fund I follow for TSX is HXT, which is an exact replica of this. So my observation on this was on the weekly chart. Even if we look at TSX or HXT, not X. So HXT. Yeah. Right. So so both the charts exact replicas of each other. On the weekly chart, the last Marubazu red that we are talking about. So I think when we met last, I also mentioned that HXT has been following a channel where if you look at the peaks, it's and the lows, you'd see a channel, right? So essentially, this Marubazu candle has broken the channel. So I would be cautious to look at clear signs of reversal before getting into a long position. So I don't have any short-term trades for this one, but I'm looking at clear signs of reversal to get into a position because I now normally do long trades, probably about 3 to 4 weeks at least. So I would be waiting. The only hope that one sees on HXT or TSX is on the day chart. The last candle after after the 3 big gap downs, the last candle is a green one. So bulls are trying to make their way up, but again, like I said, I would want a clear signal that it's not a small spark that's going to die. I'd look for a clear reversal and then I'd probably enter. So that's my thought on TSX.
Yeah, so that's right. So this green candle in the last session is just to bring the price within the lower Bollinger Band or closer to lower Bollinger Band. If you look on the weekly chart, the EMA is at 48, which is another 50 cents of drop. Then it would be in the price range from where it has reversed previously, looking at the CCI range. And on the daily chart here, the support range is close to 47.30 to 47.50, which is
precisely
$1 drop further. So
correct.
It could have a couple of days of bullish movement, but the overall trend
is downwards.
Bring another dollar drop before it reverses up.
And that is 2.5%. So yeah, I'd rather be patient and go for that 2.5% as well.
Yes. Okay. So you can keep in watch list to see that it reaches the price around 47.5 or 48, and then you can enter. For your first target could be 14. If you are entering around 48, your first target could be 49.3 or 49.8. And yeah, I think, in fact, if you wait till 47.5, your targets of 49.25 or 49.3 and 49.75 would also be a good return, depending upon how many positions you are planning to take.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so Gaurav, if you are good, we can move on to Vivek's request.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Tesla, as I mentioned in the group as well, I am bearish on Tesla. We can see the weekly candle. The indicators were in overbought. It started the correction last week, almost formed a close to gravestone doji, not exactly gravestone doji, but a bearish pattern for sure. And looking at the weekly chart, the EMA supports are closer to 215, 210, and mid Bollinger Band around 200. So that's almost like another $30 to $40 drop. And there's a gap up here, which we can expect it to close. So with the pattern that it has formed on the weekly chart, the bearish pattern is clear on the daily chart as well. And with a gap up, which it had done on June 9, it should be closing that gap as well. So if you are playing on the Tesla put, you could look for a strike price around 235, about 2 weeks or further expiry, depending upon how costly is the premium price. I am on Tesla put trade as well, which I think I had shared. So 230 or 235 strike if you are planning to take a Tesla put trade for expiry about 1 to 2 weeks. And on the support further, on the daily chart as well, there is a support band close to 200, and it's also EMA 100, which is close to 200, 199.45, which could be a good price for those who are going to buy Tesla stock for long position. So in terms of Tesla trend, Vivek, I am expecting it to drop and continue with the bearish trend that we saw in this week, starting from Tuesday. Is that fine, Vivek?
Yes, man. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So if you're okay with Tesla, we will take BAC, Bank of America. Okay. I was expecting Bank of America trend similar to what we saw on TSX, because most of the banks have impact the TSX trend. Yeah, so if we look on the weekly chart, it has almost formed a red Marubazu, and the trend is downward. This support band is close to 26.65, which means another over $1 drop. That's on the weekly chart, is 3.17 dividend. So in terms of the trend, it's better to wait for it to drop And then by BAC, if we are looking for entering into it, the buy band is close to 26.8, 26.4 is the support band. So at this point, looking at the trend, although it formed a doji here, the reversal has not yet happened and the lower Bollinger Band is still downward. So on the daily chart and also on the weekly chart, the further drop is expected. Keep it in the watch list for another about $1 drop. Once it takes support around 26.75, then you can plan to enter for first target close to 28.3 and second target close to 28.5. Let's see. Mid Bollinger Band here is 29.6 and EMA here is 29.68. So that could be your third target, but keep very small position. Since this has been on the downtrend, it's better to get out at TP1 or TP2 with lesser profit than being stuck in the position with the target less likely to or less probable to be hit. But if you are planning to hold longer, then see its dividend payout date. It has paid dividend last June. So just let me quickly check whether it pays dividend monthly or quarterly. Looks to be March and then June. So it's a quarterly payout. If you are planning to hold for 3 months, then TP3 would make sense. But at this time, wait for it to reverse and then plan for TP1 and TP2 because dividend payout looks to be way long further.
Sure, man.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. ZWP or ZWK, which was the one that you have been following?
ZWK.
So it's still continuing in the downtrend.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's
16.4 or 16.5 is where I see an opportunity.
Yeah, 16.25. There is a thin support band here. Because of dividend yield, it looks very attractive, but it's more because its price has been dropping. The asset price has been dropping, so the dividend yield percentage becomes higher. So if it drops closer to 16.25 or 16.35 and dividend payout is ex-dividend date is June 28. So you can keep it in watch list, and towards the end of this week or even next week, if it reaches around this price, it could be good to enter for dividend as well as some positive return by around 16.4
And then
for a target of 17.4. That would be $1 return and plus dividend.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. Thank you.
Alright. You're welcome. So, any last request or any last question?
Yeah, Kamal, if we could look at maybe RNW and TOU, both on TSX.
And I think I saw when you have mentioned on TSX, right?
Yes. So this one has been in a strong downtrend. It's a good dividend paying stock. I am looking at enhancing my position on this one because it's one of my long term positions, and my point of entry for the enhanced position is looking at 10.9 as a target entry date. Do you have any other thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I saw it's 10 on the daily and weekly, which is strong downtrend, and that's why I looked at monthly chart. So there is a support band here at close to 10.5. Okay.
Okay.
It's another 50 cents drop. And based on the weekly candle formation, if you look at this last candle,
Mm-hmm.
there's still potential for further drop. Although from the monthly chart, there could be more buyers coming in at around 10.83,
Right.
which is just 10 cents away. However, looking at this support channel here at 10.25 to 10.5,
Mm-hmm.
if you ask me as a being conservative, 10.5 would be the buy price that I would be looking at,
Right.
since it has been on strong bearish trend.
Right. And this is not something that, I would probably be looking at setting in a month or so. So yeah, I have time at hand. It's just that, enhancing a position at a good price is always a good idea. So
Yeah, so in that case, I would suggest, if you look here, this range of 10.4 would be a very good entry for you. It has had support here 1, 2, almost 3 times. It has taken support at this price range.
mm-hmm.
So 10.35, 10.4 would be good buy price to buy it and hold for longer term or medium term, whatever duration you are looking at. Buying at around 10.35 with the target, even if we are looking at the mid Bollinger Band range on the daily chart, it's around 11.9. So about $1.6 per stock, which could be almost on a 10, you're looking at a $10 stock. So about 16% return.
Okay.
Right. So I think it would be a good opportunity. Just keep it in your watch list for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to keep a target in the system, you can keep at around 10.35 or 10.4.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
All right. And was there another stock that you mentioned?
Yeah. TOU, tourmaline oil.
Okay. Yeah. TOU.
So we discussed this last time as well, and we were, I think we had recommended a target. I'm on this one at 58.3, and we had looked at targets around 61.5, 61.6. So I'm still holding this because, like I said last time, I see this as an ascending triangle, and if you look at the last candle either on the weekly or on the daily chart, the long wick actually touched the trend line, the upcoming trend line, and went back. So it still gives me feel or the strength in the ascending triangle. So I'm just going to hold it a bit more for with that target of around close to 61.8 or 62, and then a breakout after that, because this seems to be testing that resistance pretty often.
Yeah. So with the trend, with the last candle, although indicators are downward, and it has pulled in this resistance band, it could go around 61.5 and 62, which 61.5 is what you mentioned. It had a high here. If you keep your order in the system and looking for 61.5, you would be able to get that target. Although the support, the resistance channel here is at 60.88, since the upper Bollinger Band is at 62, and if you look, it looks to be on the upward trend. You look from here.
Yes.
So in the next attempt, it could go up to 62 as well. But if you want to be conservative, you can keep some portion of your position at 61.5, and few you can keep for target of 62, which could be possible if you are not looking to exit soon or exit early.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry. So yeah, I'm looking at 62 plus a breakout. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Okay, so I think you can for sure hold at least few of your positions for 62 or higher target. From here, it looks it could go above 62 as well.
Yeah, and if we tie it up with our analysis on the index, the TSX as such. So and this is where long time back I spoke a bit about RS. So compared to the index, this has fallen slower, and because the index we expected to take a couple of steps down and reverse. That's where that would be the time I'm expecting this to be close to 62. And unless it comes to my selling point and I have to exit the position, but I expect it to be at the point where the index reverses this. If this is close to 62, there's a very good chance of that momentum giving a breakout.
Yeah, for sure. So it would be good to hold some positions for that breakout, which could be a possibility in this case, looking at the trend on this particular chart, especially on the daily chart. It shows a reversal point here from this pattern that we are seeing here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's all that I had. Thanks.
Okay, awesome. So with that, I think we have covered most of the requests. So just before we close, want to thank everyone who joined our Grow Money Trading and Investing seminar yesterday, either joining in person here or online. For those who managed to come here in person as a speaker or as a contributor or as a member to learn from the community, thanks for taking out the time and joining us yesterday. In terms of our upcoming courses, we have our trading course starting on the 8th of July. And for those who have been waiting for this batch, we would be happy to have you here in the course. Please feel free to go ahead and enroll on the website. And the options course we will have in the month of August following once the trading course batch completes. If there are any questions related to the course, please feel free to reach out to us and we would be happy to answer. Just a closing note that we have moved to a new domain. So our new domain is gmtgroup.online, and you can find all the details of the GMT courses and upcoming batches on our new domain. To our members who have taken the batches earlier, please feel free to refer, and we would be happy to share the referral bonus with you. With that, I think we are done for the session today. Vivek, Vaibhav, Aditya, Vivek, Gaurav, Aditya, anything else?
No, I'm good from my end, Kamal. Thank you.
I'm good, Kamal.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Hope you all have a good remaining weekend and a profitable week. Speak with you in the next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.